As we welcome you back to Conference USA Kickoff, I'm Ron Thulin. And of course, the kickoff is sponsored by Ryan. UAB is predicted to win the West, but right behind them, the Roadrunners of UTSA. And joining us now, the head coach of UTSA in his second season, the pride of Gilmer, Texas, Jeff Traylor. You like how I threw Gilmer in there, Coach? That was just for you.
Any shout out for my hometown is a good shout out. Thank you.
There you go. Last year, you were predicted to finish near the bottom of the West. You had an outstanding season. Did it come together quicker last year than what you had thought it would?
It's misleading in a way. We could have been 12-0, but we also could have been 2-10. We were in every single ball game, and our kids had a strong belief in us from the very beginning, and we competed in every ball game. So I don't know if we're as close as everybody thinks we are, but I do know my kids have a strong belief in us, and we have a strong belief in them.
So you're looking for back-to-back winning seasons at UTSA for only the second time in UTSA's short football history, but you got a pretty good offense, and we'll start with your running back. He didn't surprise a lot of people last year, but he may have surprised some because you look at the numbers Sincere McCormick put up, they were outstanding. Did he surprise you?
No, I'm from the state. Converse Judson has an unbelievable history of great running backs, and what gets lost in all this, because he's such a great back, is what a great human he is. You never had to check on Sincere. He's always where he's supposed to be. And when your very best players or your very best people, you can hold your entire team to a standard because our best player is such a great person.
Oh, those are school record numbers, by the way, that you're seeing. That is the good news. Is Sincere had a great season. The challenging part of that, Coach, I would have to think, is he's going to be a marked man. People are going to maybe spy him. They're going to do everything they can to stop him. Have you had to kind of tweak your offense in order to prepare for how people are going to try to stop Sincere?
Well, it's part of our triangle of toughness culture. He went for 200 the very first game of the year. And I have a feeling Texas State knew he was going to get it a bunch that night. He's just really good. Our receivers take great pride in blocking for him. Josh Cephas and Zachary Franklin, they knuckle up out there. Our offensive line is very good. Those guys take great pride in it. Our tight end does. But it's part of our mantra. We want to be a great team run, and we want to run the football well.
Let's talk about your quarterback, because Frank Harris, dual threat quarterback, stayed healthy last season. He showed more consistency. Do you think he's showing more confidence, even more so this year?
Well, the spring ball helped us all so much. We had to play 4 quarterbacks last year. Frank got injured. Lowell had a season-ending injury. Josh Atkins had a season-ending injury. And then JoJo Weeks got, contact traced 4 times. So we had to play musical chairs at quarterback. So all those guys getting to go through spring, except for Lowell, was a huge help. And Frank had a fantastic spring, as did Josh and JoJo.
Well, let's talk about your defense, because you look at the numbers, great improvement from 2019 to 2020. From a coaching standpoint, what do you think the biggest improvement? What area did that come in?
Just belief. Once again, our triangle of toughness, our culture, that 2-1-0 brand that we talk about all the time. We're physical all the time. We're physical at practice. We're physical at the game. Our kids had a strong belief in that, and they carried out on the season. We've got really good players. That always helps for sure, but it was a belief in our triangle of toughness culture. And I know that's the talk of college football is culture, but we take great pride in taking the words off the wall in the building and putting our words on our hearts of our kids. And our kids have really put those words on their heart.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, 210 is the area code of San Antonio. Just thought I'd throw that in there, Coach. The one thing you and I were talking about before is you spent a lot of time with Texas High School Coaches Association. You were a high school football coach in the state of Texas. You talk about Sincere McCormick. Converse Judson has always had a great program. You really understand Texas high school football and recruited heavily, do you not?
Well, we just had our THSCA convention right here in San Antonio. And Coach Joe Martin and Glenn West, those guys, they wore me out speaking. So my voice isn't quite what it usually is because I got to see all my buddies and spend, 3 wonderful days with about 14,000 of my buddies. And they were all over the city, and it was great to see them. And that's who we are. We're talking about the 210 brand. We're going to start right here in the city and recruit ourselves out. We had 11 players on the roster when we got here from the area, and we're already up around 40. So we know that Alamo Dome is going to get packed pretty quick when we keep recruiting San Antonio and Texas football players.
Now, I mentioned at the top that UAB is predicted to win the West. You are number 2. Do you like those predictions, or are they for fans?
Well, they're for fans. But it's good because our fans are going to come to the game now. They think we're going to be pretty good. Last year, I think we were picked dead last, maybe last in the country when the season started. I think we were 76th or 77th when there was only 78 teams playing. So we know how that is. But we're excited about it. We've talked about it a ton. As the expectations rise around here, our culture has to match it. And pressure's a privilege. If nobody cares you're playing, you're probably not very good. So we're really excited that everybody else is excited about our kids and our brand this year.
Well, I like your schedule. We're going to take a quick look at it. And from a conference standpoint, the thing that stood out to me is you get to play UAB at home, which is going to be big, and that'll be on November the 20th. Your thoughts on your schedule?
We haven't looked past Illinois, to be honest with you. That's who we start off with, and I know that sounds like incredible coach talk, but it's again part of our culture. We're just going to win the day and try to be the very best we can be. And Illinois is the first one on the schedule, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's about our kids. It's about us. How good are we going to be? And if we take care of our end of the deal, we have enough confidence in our coaching staff and our players. We think we'll be fine. And we have a great league. UAB has been winning this league for a long time. North Texas, Louisiana Tech, those guys have been winning their share of them. And we tell our kids all the time, we've never had a team win the conference in the history of our school. Some team is going to win it. Why not us? Some team in this program in some year is going to win it. I'm not saying it's going to be next year. I don't know when it's going to be, but somebody's going to do it. So why not us?
Absolutely. And having lived in San Antonio when the football program came back, it is exciting for me to see what you're doing with that school, and I don't think a title is too far off. Coach, thanks for being with us today, and best of luck this season.
Thank y'all so much. Appreciate all y'all do for football.
In 2020, UTSA exceeded expectations, and one of the reasons why running back Sincere McCormick, the junior from Converse Judson High School, second-team All-American last year, Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year, rushed for over 1,400 yards. That was number 2 in the NCAA, and also 11 touchdowns. That was a UTSA record, and Sincere joins us now. Sincere, good to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Not bad for a guy that, when you were at Converse Judson, said you were too small to play big-time football at 5'9". Did you come into UTSA with maybe a little chip on your shoulder?
Yes, sir. Came in. I knew like a lot of people who was doubting me because of my size, my weight. They felt like I would never amount to the top level, be able to compete at the next level because of my size. So that was the biggest thing when I came in here. I was like, I'm gonna put it on the map. I'm gonna let people know and let people hear me that I'm here to be heard. Don't matter your size, don't matter your talent. It's just all about heart at the end of the day. So that's what, when I came into UTSA, that's one thing that I had on my shoulder.
Well, UTSA, as I talked about, exceeded expectations, not going to sneak up on anybody this season. But from your standpoint, defenses now are going to be keyed on you. Do you understand that, and are you ready for that kind of scrutiny you're going to face this year?
I'm not ready for it. I got 10 other guys that has a lot of talent on the field. Got the best O-linemen out there that can possibly be best receivers, best quarterback. So they ain't going to be looking at me. We got other guys, we got other weapons, and we got a heck of a defense to worry about too as well.
We're also going to be talking to Rashad Wisdom. He is also for Converse Judson High School. And anybody that wants to find out the history of Converse Judson, just Google it, because they were a powerhouse in Texas football. What makes Converse Judson players so good?
We just build different, come from a different route. But there's a lot of things that go into the players, the coaches, the character they build and instill into the players, like such as me and Rashad and and another player is DeMarvin Leal. A lot of us guys we knew what it take to reach the next level, and the competition was way above where it needed to be, and we was just out there playing with our hearts and playing for our brothers next to us.
Well, we've got to talk about the shirts, Run 3 MC. They actually started last year, but whoever came up with it wasn't allowed to do it because of your likeness. But as we all know, that has all changed. Now people can actually get the Run 3 MC shirt. Has to be pretty cool for you.
There's a guy that had came up. It was some random guy who, guess was just like posted on social media one day. It was like Run 3 MC, get your shirts here. At that time, we couldn't really have people selling our name. So one of my head directors of compliance, she told them to take it down. And then when they found out that name, image, and likeness was coming back, I had reached out to them again, and then we had cut a deal, and now they got Run 3 MC shirts everywhere now.
That is awesome. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Might help you sell some shirts, man,
Yeah, get to sell as much shirts as we can. Get the dome packed with a lot of shirts.
Free publicity, buddy.
Yeah,
that's the best publicity you can get.
Yeah, fantastic. Run 3 MC. Go purchase your shirts today. We got shirts. We got sweaters. We got shirts, tank tops too as well.
Before I let you go, how special is it, though, for you to be part of the success of UT San Antonio? Because obviously Converse is in the San Antonio area, but to see this program go up a couple of notches under Coach Traylor, how special is that for you?
That's very special. It was one of the big emphasis too as well as coming into UTSA. UTSA is a young program, and it's in a large city, seventh largest city, and to get UTSA up and running is the biggest thing. Me and Shai was like, "This is the opportunity. We're gonna take it. We're gonna run with it." And with Coach Traylor coming into play, that's just another piece to the puzzle that we needed. And he's a great guy, and looking forward to see what he does in the next couple of years.
We're looking forward to seeing what you do this coming year. Some publications have you a preseason All-American. Outstanding year last year, and I bet you have an even better one this year. Sincere thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Last year at UTSA, the Roadrunners showed improvement on defense. And part of the defense that showed improvement was safety Rashad Wisdom, the junior from Converse Judson. In 2020, he was first team All-Conference USA, even had 4 picks, including that one for a touchdown on the year. And he joins us right now. Rashad, good to have you part of our show today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I appreciate y'all having me on.
It's our pleasure, my friend. Last year, everybody said, oh, UTSA, they're going to be last in the West and probably last in Conference USA total. You surprised a lot of people last year. Did that surprise you?
Not at all. We already had the expectation going in that we were a great team, and we just had to go out there and prove it last year. We seen all the articles and people on social media is talking about that we were the second worst team in the nation, and all that did was fuel us to the great season that we had last year. So
now we put your numbers up there. We see the 95 tackles. That was actually second in Conference USA, plus your 4 interceptions. Why the big jump last year? Tell us where it came from between your sophomore or your freshman year to last year.
I would say just a lot more, lot more passion for the game, and just the dedication I had for my teammates and the coaches, and things of that nature. And I feel like one of the biggest things that kind of fueled me and kind of motivated me, throughout this whole season was, the passing of my brother. He, for those that don't know, he passed away of kidney cancer last year around this time. And, from that point on, that kind of fueled me throughout the whole season to, go a little extra harder and, kind of, take it up a notch. So I would say that, it's a mixture of things, but the passing of my brother definitely, pushed me a little bit harder this last season.
And of course, those of you who are wondering, that's called Bryce Strong. His brother Bryce is the one who passed away way too early. And I heard you talking about it, and you said, even when Bryce was going through his worst times, he was always trying to push through, and that was a big inspiration for you.
Yes, sir, most definitely. And I kind of mentioned it before, kind of the definition of Bryce Strong. And to me, being Bryce Strong is pushing through, even the hardest of times, even when you really don't feel like it or feeling down or whatever the circumstances may be. You just keep on pushing and keep going. And, I caught myself in a lot of those moments last year throughout the season. But like I said, seeing his fight and how courageous he was throughout the whole battle kind of motivated me throughout the whole season, made me just go a little extra harder, day in and day out.
Now, you were kind of surrounded by inspiration. Your brother Bryce, obviously. Your dad was a football player. What's the best piece of advice he gave you?
I would say the best piece of advice my dad has ever given me was that it doesn't matter about the size of the dog in a fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. And, me being, 5'9" and not the tallest guy or not the biggest guy on the field, but, one thing for sure, I have the most fight in my heart, and, I'm never going to go down without a fight and without swinging. So, just that's one of the things my dad had always told me, and that he instilled in me. And, I live that every day, that, no matter what, I'm a soldier, and I'm a go down swinging regardless of, who's in front of me or what the task is at hand.
Well, it's interesting because we talked to Sincere, now we talked to you. Neither one of you were recruited by a lot of the Power 5 schools because of your size. And here you are making an all-conference USA team. He was the number 2 rusher. I'm going to say it has to do with being from Converse Judson High School. I'll give them credit. How about
Yes,
that?
Sir.
You like that?
Yes, sir, most definitely. Just what the coaches over there at Judson instilled on us as well, just from all the things that we did over there that not a lot of people do, as far as like the boot camps, that all-season workouts, and then the teams that we play, throughout the season. Going to Judson kind of made me the player I am today. And, kudos to all my coaches and even my teachers and all the administrators over there at Judson, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Now, Rashad, we want to thank you so much for being part of our show. We wish you the best of luck this season and keep plugging away.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all again.
All right. Coming up on the other side of the break, Conference USA Kickoff. We'll continue. We'll take a look at North Texas with head coach Seth Luttrell.